All right, you so kindly put on your Esquire. We're behind your spaceship's pedal board. If anyone's not seen it, go please check out the 2021 rig rundown with you and Mark. You guys both did a great job going through your full setup. So this time, to keep things condensed so we have time to speak with Dev, let's just cover some of the new sounds from the new album and maybe any new arrivals on the pedal board.
Okay.
And I'll let you lead the dance, Lee. You tell me about it.
Do you want to know the new arrivals or just go into a sound first?
Let's do new arrivals and sounds at the same time. Synergistic.
All right, let's have a look then. So this is for the song on new album Tangk called Jungle. There's two things I love, two sounds that I love making on that song, which is huge, like reverberant chorus single notes, strikes. I love it mostly because there's this bit on the third chord that once you get into the amp, if you catch the overtone right, it just sings.
It's kind of like surfing then.
I love making that. There's just this moment where you got to get that high note with the speakers. So I'll try it.
Yeah.
Might fail, but you know, that's life.
Yeah, that's the magic.
So should we try that first?
Let's do it.
Should I say what it is?
Yeah.
It's actually, so it's a tone job from Earthquaker Devices, the reverberation machine, and a micro delay, micro dream.
Okay.
Again, also by Deaf by Audio, those two. And that's it. It's just those. It's just reverb and delay and gain, really. As
my three favorite things.
Same. All right. So it's just this. I'll use this. It's just big.
And so for that specific sound, we're obviously the high
just those two,
it's the Marshall.
Yeah. Because again, it's that the body and the gain together, it just sounds bigger.
Yeah. And how are your effects running? Are they all three amps, as you use them, getting the effects, or is it just the high watt?
Everything's getting the effect.
Okay.
So everything here runs to everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything, all the time. And then there's a bit where it goes into a middle 8 with a new pedal, which is the Count to 5 by Montreal Assembly.
Not familiar with the pedal or the company.
It's this one here,
yeah.
This yellow one. It's a granular delay.
Ah.
And it is affected by this expression. Yeah. So then it cuts down. It's just this, it's just, you know, like granular delay thing where they just all keep going over each other. But then you can bring it in.
It reminds me of like a Planet Earth narrated by David Attenborough, with like millipedes crossing across the screen. That's what I hear when I hear those like
I always think
those
it's more sci-fi, you know, like maybe an extraterrestrial planet with millipedes, giant millipedes running around.
Starship Troopers. Love it.
I just love making that sound. It's just fun.
Now, what song is that for?
Jungle.
That's so we're still doing jungle songs.
Yeah. It's just those two effects in that song. I love making. I just love doing it.
Yeah.
And this pedal is I don't know, it's crazy. It's one of those ones where I've no idea how it works. I've tried to understand it, but it's a thing where you just turn the dials until something cool happens and you go, right, that's that.
Do you ever worry about recreating it, or is part of the chaos and
it is really, really easy to recreate.
It's set.
Yeah, it's like, it's just got these couple of ranges where you know, like if I do that, it's now somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
But the light changes to let you know, so. And now it's back.
Yeah.
So you can quantize the delay sounds to be in different, and you can change the octaves. The octave, you can have it go an octave up, 2 octaves up or 2 octaves down. So, you know, it's pretty cool.
The last couple records you guys have done, specifically even Ultramono, so the last 3, are pretty dense sonically. Are you guys recreating all that stuff on stage, or is there any?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's all done live on stage?
Yeah.
No tracks or anything or nothing like that?
Well, no, we do have like samples being replayed and stuff. Bowen has a few things on like the MPC which you'll go through.
Yeah.
But majoritively, you know, everything is just everything we made, we have remade to play it live.
Yeah.
So it's
'Cause you're a
all
live band.
really close.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a few things, you know, where I'd rather than be down here all the time. You know, I get it set as close to, and then play the song.
Yeah.
But there are things where I've got to switch between stuff a lot. You know, it all works, and I think it all sounds good. So, so that's that one. And I guess while we got this, I can go on to Dancer.
Okay, let's
which
do
has
it.
actually got some really fun effects as well. So we just have the octave down for the verse. But that works its way into the next section, which is like a little tremolo guitar. And then I'll do the second verse bit. It's going to be way out of time. Probably be a very fast version of the second verse. Where I switch between the three effects, which I like a lot. So the chorus effect comes back, which is this. So it's about, you know, like playing the chord and then just smashing the bridge to get the ring out.
Yeah.
And it's just that on repeat with the other effect. The fun thing about that one is that this is actually affected by this as well. And this is like that cuts the what's it called, like the 5-volt circuit in a expression that interrupts the pedal to tell it that there is an expression in.
Wow.
So the expression never needs to be unplugged. So when I press that button now, this is independent. So it's like its original form, even though there's an expression in it. So, and that will slow it down a little bit. But then it gives me the option to, which
labeled Twin Peaks, which is nice.
Yes, exactly. So I know which one does what. Although I don't know why I need that, because it's the only one plugged into there.
Who figured that out, you or Gavin, to insert the switch to bypass it but still keep
But
it in?
that was actually something we realized. Gavin actually told me about the piano expression and using that instead of one of these, because you actually get that. You get to change the ramp yourself in how much pressure you put on. But I'll show you that I'll show you what we do in the chorus for Roy. The switch it's one of Gavin's friends up in Scotland, Fretronics.
Okay.
Explained, actually that's not true, almost all true. So what actually happened was, yeah, I know, exactly. I don't know what's going on. So I spoke to David Drolo.
Okay.
Who makes these two pedals here, the Twin Peaks and the Stammen. I told him about how I wanted to do that and whether he could put a mod in there, and he said that's what needs to happen. And then we spoke to Fretronics and he was like, easy, I'll make you a little box that will just cut the I think it's a 5-volt circuit, is that right? Yep. And then got put in.
Isn't it nice to have friends that are really smart?
Yeah, I mean,
at least for me, I don't want to speak for you, but for me it's handy.
These pedals
I'm kind of a knuckle dragger.
are very smart.
Yeah,
they're like
they're smarter than me. I can tell. I'm intimidated.
Honestly, the Twin Peaks, I think, is the best tremolo I've ever used.
Really?
By far, it does everything, and it's very recreatable. You can have the nice soft warble, but then if you really want to, I mean, should we just move on to
let's keep cooking.
To Roy, so then you can see. Did you actually want to know what effects I use there? Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, you covered obviously the whammy for the octave.
Yeah, and then what I just played is just the Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
And I'm using the gain in it as the drive.
What's a cool thing that's added into the pedal?
And then the chorus is actually the tone job, the reverberation machine, and the wazza delay. Yeah. The other fun thing, which is after the chorus, there's this. There was a tremolo like white noise, and we managed.
This is still on Dancer.
Yeah, we actually managed to recreate it. Sorry, I'm going back and forward so much.
No,
it's literally just this. and that is the Interstellar Overdriver, Gary, and the Tone Job, all like pumped.
Kind of talking to each other.
Yeah, just making a white noise, and then it goes into the Twin Peaks, which shuffles it. That's it. It's like a little shaker, isn't it?
Can we talk about Gary for a second?
We can.
I know that's, or maybe that is the name that will come out.
It is, yeah. This is it. This is the...
Really going to be called Gary.
Yeah.
So talk about your partnership with Earthquaker.
Yeah, so this is actually a really, really special moment for me.
Yeah.
I think my first pedal endorsement was with Earthquaker devices, and they actually sent me this, the organizer, and I have, it's one of my favorite pedals. Then they sent me like things like the Tone Job and stuff, and again that ended up just being in everything. It's one of the most like versatile pedals to have on your board. It's just a really simple EQ pedal that you can gain or not, and so on. And I use it in conjunction with my EP booster, which is my always on pedal. So yeah, Gary replaces the grey channel, which I used to have.
Yeah.
And it actually started because I asked Earthquaker whether or not they would be up for making me a section of the grey channel that I really liked, and I only wanted that because obviously things get moved, knocked, and then it had the two sides with the switches, and that little switch kept moving with me. I kept doing it.
Yeah. Pilot air.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, and Jamie was like, yeah, definitely we can do that. And then so we did it, and it sounded perfect. We had this little box on here, this little grey box. It was just the green side of the grey channel with the volume and gain, and the switch was removed, but it was locked in the neutral setting. Okay. And that was it. And then the more we talked to each other about it, we talked about actually making my own pedal. So we thought, it'd be sick to make a second side, which we did, and now we have Gary, which is it's a one-sided overdrive, other side fuzz, but the fuzz on this it's like a square wave frequency, so I can move between and change the intensity of the wave, but also how much it interacts with the guitar and how much it can bottom out. So I used to have this like fuzz that you could really hit the floor with. So I always loved that, but you could never control it. Whereas now I can. So I can show you it quick. This is Gary and the EP booster. The EP booster is always on. So, but this is Gary in just its normal like 12 o'clock, everything, just the overdrive.
Gary's gnarly.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really lovely. It can be even less. You can make it a really clean drive by turning the gain all the way off and the volume up. But I generally always had it at 12 and 12.
Yeah.
And I always paired it with the Tone Job. So like the majority of choruses for me, from like Joy onwards, were always like Tone Job and Grey Channel, obviously. So it's, the two together, so you get more gain. But if we take Tone Job back off and we switch the side to the front. So it's dead now.
Yeah.
When I play it, it's gone. But if I leave it, you can bring it back in. So you can bring it back in. You can also put it on a expression pedal.
Yeah,
so
I was going to ask about that.
You can function that yourself. I love that you can just stop it dead too.
It reminds me a lot of Mark Knopfler, that tone there.
Yeah, especially for the juice, Although I think that was just Marshall.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can add them both, and it always go fuzz into overdrive.
Okay.
You can't
That's
change
cool that. You did it.
So yeah, that's Gary.
Man.
There will be a lot more of Gary to come, more videos, more more in depth about it.
But welcome to the world, Gary.
Exactly.
We're glad to have you.
I'm so stoked that the first appearance of Gary is on Rig Rundown.
Yeah, this is excellent. Should we move on to
Roy?
Roy. All right, so we got the baritone. Tell me about it. It looks like it could possibly be a parts caster of some sort.
It is, yeah. So Gavin actually noticed that you can just get the necks online.
Yeah.
So we just bought the neck, strapped it to one of my old makeshift Esquires.
Yeah.
So I have a Esquire baritone.
It's kind of that's what's kind of nice about Fenders is that because they're bolt-on, you can kind of just find parts and jam them together.
I mean, it does sound really good. I think the pickup could be changed now that it's been now I've lived with it for a bit.
Yeah.
It could be changed. I think we could. I think what sounds really good is the pickup in Bowen's actual baritone.
Yeah.
So if we'd just get one of those Strat pickups and
drop it in.
Yeah, I think you can get them in there somehow, can't you?
I'm sure you can.
Sure there
You
is.
know, if someone could, it's gonna be Gavin.
Yeah, just make up a base plate on the bottom. Platinum.
Task him with it; he'll figure it out.
But yeah, so it's this, and then this is the whole reason that this switch came in to play.
Okay.
Was so we could always have it in the Twin Peaks and set it to change when I don't need it to this pedal.
All right.
But this pedal came in for this song. So there's a synth that's doing a trem. I played through with guitar and it changed the it just did all the trem. So then I had to recreate it. And we did that by using square wave on here, high depth, gain, tone. So now it's on, as you can see, here's a little sticker there that says that's the speed to be. Because and then what's special about this is that even though I managed to get that pace right, the heel and toe was all wrong. So we set the heel and toe for the Mission Expressionator, which then obviously goes to this little switch, which can switch it on and off, and to the Twin Peaks, the piano expression.
Got it.
So it's just got this. It feels very roundabout way of.
Yeah. I didn't want to point it out.
But I couldn't figure out another way to do it. So this is the way it is, and this is how it sounds if it worked. Do you know what would help? Is if I actually set the pedals.
Yeah.
And then you should make the sound it's supposed to.
When we spoke with Dev, it worked out that he's making the changes in real time too between his pedal settings. So you're having to do that as well?
Yeah, because even though everything's on the
switcher,
you still got to change your pedal settings in between songs. So, but the switcher makes everything so much easier. I mean,
you could just get you a Kemper and call it a day.
Nope. But what is still amazing about using the switching system is that I can make this sound on the fly.
Yeah.
So like the verse is just this. That's that's the whole tone. And then I switch to the chorus, which will be. That's why. I haven't played the song in a little while. If you have too much gain, you lose the chop.
Okay.
But there you can hear the expression work.
Chopper.
Yeah, I love it. It sounds amazing.
Nothing subtle. Nothing subtle.
No, there isn't much subtle there, to be honest.
No. But at least you know you're always being heard.
But yeah, I mean, that's that.
All right, so that's for Roy with the baritone. Is there anything else that the baritone gets used on?
No, just Roy, and then there's a fun feedback thing I guess I use on this song, where because again the amp switch, that's high watt and the PV, and there's a feedback bit which actually uses the octave system and the organizer together. Somewhere. There we go. Which I find quite fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's that thing where rather than me doing the feedback through the amp with the cones, I'm actually controlling it, the high peaks and low peaks with the whammy. But the organizer's still in there, which gives it that like organy well like.
Yeah.
Pretty much every pedal I have to change in between songs, get them right for the song. As you can see, there are markers on some of them because
A lot of road maps with a lot of colors and a lot of arrows.
yeah, I mean, that's that thing where when you do a new album, it's all the new dials. You can't quite remember them all.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'd rather have little pinpoint. I mean, that one down there is a bit insane. And also at this point now, these stickers don't mean anything because because the more you play them live and in the live environment, the more you tweak it again.
Yeah.
So they're not even on those markers. The only one that I actually stick to the marker now is the Twin Peaks because it's set to
That.
yeah.